Hey y'all, so I'm back with another quick tutorial on how to do this crochet cowl, the one that you see right there. This is a super easy tutorial that can work up really quickly, and it's nice and cozy, perfect for those that are still living in a cold weather climate. Not so great here in Florida, but perfect for another climate. What I used was the Wool Ease Thick and Quick yarn by Lion's brand, and I started by making myself a slip knot and placing that on my crochet hook. Now I used an 8mm crochet hook, but if you don't want to use that size, just kind of follow the suggested hook size that's on the yarn that you choose. Okay, so this works up really quickly. Again, this is an 8mm crochet hook, and you want to start by making yourself a foundation chain in an odd number. Okay, so go ahead and make yourself a foundation chain, and we will start the pattern. So if you're super new to crocheting, I would definitely suggest that you learn some few basics. You can probably follow along here on the screen to learn how to do a foundation chain or a slip knot and all that stuff. If you don't catch on in this video, please be sure to check out my channel. I do have tutorials on how to do that in a slower motion. But for this project, all you're really going to need to know is how to do a single crochet stitch and a double crochet stitch, and you can create that cowl that I just showed you at the beginning. Okay, so now that you have yourself a foundation chain in an odd number, and I will, guys, have the written instructions on my website. I've already written them up. I just need to post them over there. So you're going to go ahead and place your single crochet stitch in that second stitch from the hook. Okay, so you're going to do a single crochet stitch, which is just inserting the crochet hook, pulling back through, yarning over, and pulling through both loops. Okay, now the next stitch you're going to do is a double crochet stitch. So just yarn over, find that next stitch, insert your crochet hook into that stitch, making sure that you then wrap the yarn back around the crochet hook, pull through the first two stitches or the loops, and then yarn over and pull through the bottom two loops. So I'm going to show you that again. That probably was a little confusing, but let's go ahead and do our single crochet stitch. Now with the single, remember, you're not going to wrap the yarn around. You're just going to go straight through the stitch and then pull through the bottom two loops. Okay, so again, the double crochet, yarn over, insert the crochet hook into the next stitch. See how that looks? Pull through, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Again, if you don't know how to do a double crochet and single crochet, this could be a little difficult for you, but just keep working through and I think you'll get it. Okay, so now you're doing your double. And then your single. And I'm just going to stay on camera a little bit just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But basically this first row, that's exactly what you're doing, a single and a double crochet stitch all the way till you get to the very end, making sure that when you end the row, you end with a double crochet stitch. You all, it has been a crazy holiday season for me. I got so sick I wasn't able to put any videos up, so I apologize for that. I really wanted to have a whole lot of videos for the holiday, but when you can't talk, you really can't voice over, and it just really made for a crummy video season for me. But I'm back now. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like. And then just keep working. Right here at the end, you're going to make sure that you do a double crochet stitch. Okay, and that's what it should be looking like. You're going to then do a chain of one, and then you're going to turn your work. Now I really like this stitch for this cowl because it makes it really cozy, and I made it wide so that you don't have to fold it or do anything like that. And the more you wash and wear it, the more drapier it will become. Okay, so you've done your single crochet stitch. Go ahead and pull your work apart a little bit so you can see where to put your next stitch. You're going to do a double crochet stitch. See, if you pull it apart a little bit, you can see where your holes are. Go ahead and do a single crochet stitch, and then the next one you're going to do a double crochet stitch. And like I said, this is pretty much the pattern. Okay, I would love for you to come back. I'm going to keep working but I want you to kind of see how I construct everything towards the end. So go ahead and continue working until you get, how many rows did I do with this? Let me see. I think I did like 40 rows, but I will, again, I'll put the instructions over on my website, the exact number of rows that I did in the measurements of this cowl. Okay, again, once you get to the end here, you're going to make sure that you do a double crochet stitch. That's going to end off your row, and that's what makes it really easy to kind of keep everything in your mind. You'll start with a single crochet stitch, and then you're going to end with a double crochet stitch. Chain one, turn your work, and continue doing that same pattern, being the single crochet and the double crochet. Okay, and again, you're going to do that until you reach the desired number of rows, and I want to say I did 40-ish, but again, I will have that information over on my website. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You're going to use 2 skeins of yarn for this project. We'll right around 2 skeins, so that's pretty much there. What you see on the screen there, that's about 1 skein. So I'm going to show you now how to join your yarn once you run out. Okay, I get this question quite a bit, especially when people are working blankets. How do I start a new ball of yarn? So I'm going to show you 2 options on how I do it. And of course, you all, just like with everything in life, there's multiple ways of getting things done. So this is what I do. Okay, so here I am. I'm at the end of my yarn. Simple first way of doing this, option 1, is simply just tying the yarn together. This option works well if you're using the same color yarn. Okay, so it's just a simple tie a little knot and keep going. Those 2 little tail ends there, you'll cut it off at the end. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Option 2, simply just lay your yarn over your crochet hook, like on the screen there. See how I did it there? You have the 2 tail ends together, and you're just going to start crocheting. So go ahead and pull through, and then you're going to do your whatever stitch you left off on. So if you left off on a double crochet stitch, you'll continue doing double crochet stitch. If you're doing a single, then you do a single. So in this case, I was doing a single crochet stitch, and I just continued crocheting. So this one is another easy way of doing it. You will have to work your yarn in as you go back across, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so first way, just tie the yarn together. Second way, lay the yarn over the crochet hook, and then just continue crocheting. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Keep working. Once I get back to that tail, I'm going to show you how I work that in. Okay, that's what it looks like. So it's very seamless. Okay, so once you get back and you're working back across, you will come to the tail ends. Okay, what you can do is just lay the tail ends across the top of your work and continue crocheting on top of those tail ends. What that's going to do is just going to save you the step at the very end of weaving in your tails with a either a crochet hook or a yarn needle. So if you're not comfortable doing this, that is also very fine. Just leave them dangling, and at the end of your project, you'll weave all those tails in. So as you can see here, I'm just laying the yarn across the top of the project, and I'm just continuing the crochet pattern, single crochet or double crochet stitch. So do you see there? It's kind of hard to see on camera just because the yarn is multicolored, but literally I'm just laying the yarn flat and then working on top of the yarn. So once you have your desired length, because you're going to fold this over because it's a cowl, you're going to put your 2 raw ends together and you're going to sew them together. So this is simpler for me than working in a round, especially if I'm trying to teach. Working in a round is a little bit harder. So what you're going to do is just cut the yarn and then finish off your work. Once you finish your cowl, you've gotten to your desired length, which means you've wrapped it around your neck and you like the way it drapes on your chest. Okay, go ahead and get yourself a yarn needle, and then you're just going to stitch up the 2 raw ends, making sure that you pick up the stitches on both sides so you can kind of see there what I'm doing. Okay, so basically you're just going to sew your ends together, which is going to create your circle, which is going to create the cowl. So that way you're not, you could do this in rounds, but like I say, it's a little difficult, especially if you're a beginner with crocheting. Sometimes working in rounds can get a little confusing. So once you have it all stitched up together, I go back and forth. So I go down and then I take that right back up to the top to my starting tail, and then I just tie those two ends together. That makes sure that the project is nice and secure and it won't come out apart, okay? Leave yourself nice tails, and then you're going to weave that in. Just in case this ever comes loose, you'll always have enough yarn to stitch your project back together. So you see how that looks? Very seamless, very nice. Guys, this is pretty much it. This is the crochet cowl, super cozy. I love the size that I created here. It's customizable, but again, over there on my website, I'll put the information. This is what it looks like when I wear it. See, very cozy. And as you wash this and really get it good and worn, it'll be perfect. So this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, like always, if you have any questions, please be sure to leave them down in the comment section down below. Or if you want like immediate answers, sometimes it's easier to get me over on Instagram just because of the direct messaging. But either way, just leave a message and I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Thanks. Bye.